Alright guys, really bad luck. I was filming the whole video about half an hour, the real speech, but my camera was in the selfie mode, so it was facing towards the window. You couldn't see me, and I really don't want to say the real story again. I really don't want to say it because you can hear everything I said. So I will just pop in a picture here, just a picture, and just listen to my words about my real bodybuilding journey. Hope you enjoy it, guys. Hope so, and really thank you if you watch the whole video and you get inspired or learn something from it. So go for it. Let's get it rolling. My fitness journey, a really big part. Really big part. I think it's as long like with my parkour journey. My parkour journey was 6 years. My fitness journey I started with end of 17, so nearly about 8 years, but also like about 1 or 1.5 year break, so it's kind of the same time frame, a little bit longer. And what I want to tell you guys here is like how I started, what I have learned, my mistakes, and where I'm now. So right after parkour, I was a mess. I was fucking depressed. I know what to do with my life. I was like, fuck that shit, my life is gone. I won't be ever happy again, because I was so obsessed about becoming a parkour bro, about making a living as a parkour athlete and all that things. I was so obsessed about it, and letting go of this was so hard. But I know holding on that longer, since it wasn't possible at that moment, would only result in suffering. So I was thinking about an option, and I'm really good about my intuition, about having many ideas, seeing many things I want to do. I'm so good in that, but I needed to work at that point on to also act on it. And all the time I was training one time with Moritz Dammann in the gym, and I really liked it. I loved it. I actually made a real Facebook post after I did this first training session where I wrote, "Oh man, I'm such a beast. I was training today at the gym. It was so amazing." And I was thinking back to these days. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. I was still doing parkour, and I was always like inspired by Son Goku, Hercules, and all these muscular guys. When I was like 10 years old, I was flexing already in the mirror and everything, and there was always a thing I wanted to try out and start. So I was like, dude, you can't do parkour right now, so just go out like and do some pull-ups. It was right after I broke my wrist, so it was not the point where I 100% decided to end parkour and start with that. It was just a thing about, yeah, I broke my wrist, and my arms was like this, and I wasn't able to do one pull-up. And I got a little bit like, fuck, I'm so weak. And then I really worked on doing pull-ups every day, and I got back to my old level in about 2 weeks or something, and this was really cool. So I had the first experience with a muscle memory, how easy it is to get like all the muscles back you lost in the first place. But I wasn't really committed, because I still had this parkour vision, and I went back to parkour. I had all the knee problems, and then there was the point where I got so depressed and decided to end it 100% now. And then I was thinking back to the days after I broke my wrist as well. Actually, I really enjoyed training on a daily basis. I really enjoyed getting stronger and having a kind of strength program. And then I bought myself the book, Fit ohne Geräte. And then I was reading the book, also about the nutrition part. I cleaned up my nutrition even way more. Like I started eating paleo, like only like the, I think caveman. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Like only nuts, meat, fruits, vegetables, that's most likely it. So basically not so much carbs, only from fruits. And I got so also obsessed about it that I was so obsessed about this nutrition part that when I ate something what was not paleo, even rice or bread and things like this, I felt really guilty. I felt like, fuck, because it also gave me kind of superpowers at the moment. And maybe it's a plus. I think it's a placebo effect, because I was really thinking this paleo diet and makes me a superhuman. I felt so strong. I felt like so energetic during these days. And I did then the programs in the Fit ohne Geräte book, and I followed them so hard. I trained, like I watched so much on my perfect form, and always going until muscle failure. I was training super hard. I was like, I want to be the hardest worker in the room, and I always was. I always was the hardest worker in the room. Like, I trained at the beginning with some friends, with Dan and Robert, I guess. Then also in the old parkour gym, I did some workouts, a lot outside. And then I was like, I really enjoy doing like all these calisthenics things, but not so much the freestyle things, like, you know, like all the front levers and all the tricks on the bar. This was 100% my thing. I enjoyed more getting stronger and improving my body. Like, I wanted to become a bodybuilder more and more. And then I was doing more weighted calisthenics, like weighted dips, weighted pull-ups. I got so much bigger after 6 to 8 months. Like, people guess, man, without a gym, without steroids? Are you crazy? How are you doing that? The thing is, I was working my ass off. I always trained until muscle failure with all the bodyweight exercise. I also got slightly overtrained, like overreached, only with bodyweight stuff, not with the gym. And imagine how hard you need to work on that. I had a lot of volume. I did like 30 to 35 sets per muscle group, training for 2 to 3 hours, and it was a good time, but I learned a lot about it. It teach me so much discipline. Like, at this time of life, I became like from one of the, let's say, not so disciplined guys to one of the most disciplined guys and most willpower guys I know at this point of my life. I was super disciplined, super much with everything in life. And I got the results, guys. I got really good results. And then there was the point where I was meeting Moritz Gimnisch. He was a guy Jason told me. He was like, got a second place at the German bodybuilding championship. And he was a really big guy. He has a lot of knowledge about training, nutrition, everything. And I was so keen to meet him because the goal of becoming a bodybuilder, becoming more, bigger and bigger for me. And then I met him, and also we connected like fuck so much after the first training. He was the first guy I ever met at this time of my life who was training as hard as me. I always felt a little bit like an outsider because I was training so much harder than anyone else, so much more obsessed, and he was the same. I was like, fuck, I found my soulmate. Like, he's like me, that's so cool. And then we connected. I was joining the gym with him. We did every workout together. We became training partners. He was pushing me crazy hard, and I was pushing him as well. Super hard. Until the point I got overtrained. He can handle way more workload and work capacity than I do. So after a few weeks in the gym, I become, overtrained, was not getting stronger, I was actually getting weaker, I got depressed, my appetite was going down like this, like all the overtraining signs. Like, I wasn't enjoying life anymore, guys, at this point. And I was thinking like, how can this be? And Moritz was always convincing me overtraining is a myth, it doesn't exist, this is total bullshit, because I was still training as hard with weights as I was with calisthenics. In my opinion, with only bodyweight stuff, you can get away with that, with training to maximum failure at every set and doing a lot of volume. But with weights, it's a different story. So I got overtrained, and I was all like thinking like, no man, you can't get overtrained, that's a myth, it's not possible. So I was force feeding myself even more, getting more and more supplements who like proven to boost your testosterone or help with recovery. And everything was not helping, that I got so burned out at some point that I was not training for 3 months. I was like informing myself, if you are truly overtrained, you need to take a few months of training. And I did it. I started to feel better, my appetite was going normal. I was still fucking depressed during this time because I was not able to do any training, not everything. So I was like, fuck, my next vision I need to put aside as well. So, and then after 3 months I came back. So I was thinking like, oh, I'm not overreach anymore. Let's do this mistake all over again. So I was training as hard as I was before, got overtrained after a few sessions again, and I was like, fuck that shit, I think this bodybuilding thing isn't my thing. I always get overtrained, like fucking hell, how is that possible? Like, with overtrained I also mean during the training laying down on the toilet floor for half an hour, nearly throwing up, really. Like, after this all crazy sets of squats or everything, I needed to go to the toilet for 20 to 30 minutes laying down and nearly throwing up because I got so dizzy and nearly collapsing. Like my central nervous system was so fucked up. It's crazy, guys. I'm wondered that I never collapsed during training. I really wondered about it, or never throwed up. There was a point where I was so close to throw up so many times, and then there was the point where I was so close, so fucking close to take steroids. I was informing myself. I was even contacting people. And because I was like, with steroids, I can probably not get overtrained and I can train as hard. Like, I was so obsessed. It was my drug to train so hard. It was my drug, guys. So I was not considering steroids because, like most people, to get bigger and stuff, I only wanted to take it to be able to train as hard again. To have this kind of boost. But at the same time, I was also thinking about the big picture, about the long-term effects, that I never be able to enjoy training without again. So I need like a substance to, I don't want to have that. I want to be my own best versions without any other things. And also for the long-term health, you know, if I had no clue about steroids at this time, so it would be like just getting injection randomly in like something, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So I was really smart, because if I would not think so much, because I sometimes overthink a lot of things, and in this case it was a really good thing to overthink it so much, because otherwise I would be taking steroids. And maybe I never did it, and then there was the point where I said, Moritz, I can't train with you anymore. You train too hard. I need to do my own thing. And then I realized, like, oh, our close friendship was only based on this insane kind of hard training and insane vision we had. So our friendship kind of ended at this point. I'm really sad about it. Like, only because I was doing my thing and Moritz was doing his thing, and then our ways separated. I was informing myself more and more about 3DMJ, about Lion McDonald, about all the nutrition things, about flexible dieting, about smarter training, upper body day, lower body days, full body days, not training a pro split. I was always doing this thing, and Moritz was so much like into the pro split and nutrition thing. He had such a big belief in. And if someone else is not doing what he is doing, he's considered an idiot, so, or a pussy. So in his eyes, I became a pussy or idiot, and I was feeling a little bit bad first, but then I saw I feel much better. I don't get overtrained, I make better progress, and I have a way better, like, thing for my nutrition. Like, because I got a eating disorder before with my first major diet, I did this one with Moritz, where I was also so convinced of eating all 3 hours, only eating clean. And I got binge eating attacks. I saw food as something. I was constantly thinking about food, about the things I can't eat. And I had a cheat day where I was eating 10,000 calories, nearly throwing up. And with flexible dieting, I had a more balance. I was like eating also sometimes not so healthy things. At some point, I was like doing the other extreme where I was only eating unhealthy, because I was like, it fixed my macros, it doesn't make a difference. And it's true, guys. You can eat whatever you want as long as you hit your macros and get good muscle growth with it, or dieting results. But you start to feel like shit after a while. This is another part when you don't have the good food in yourself. Like, body composition wise, it doesn't matter what you eat. The only thing that counts are calories. And I know that 100%. I experienced this many times. So yeah, after this, I got more informed. I was making serious muscle gains the first time in my life again. I was like, wow, that's cool. But I was still in this trap of like, I want to be lean all year round. I don't want to get fat. And then I was right after 3 months, like for me, 2 to 3 months was an insane gaining phase, guy. I got so much muscle in 2 to 3 months now. And maybe I gained a little bit because I was still in intermediate during this time. And then I directly did the second major diet with Moritz Dammann, a really good friend of mine. We are still in contact, and after coronavirus is over, gonna meet him again, doing some epic training together. I did a really sick diet with him. I think I got even leaner than last time. If you see the photo right here, got even leaner than last time, and I felt obviously really shitty at the end of the diet, but not so much because of the, let's say diet, more so because I was so low body fat. I got really low, like nearly, like even stage lean. It was sick. But I was spinning my wheels. So after this diet, I realized I didn't gain much muscle at all. And then there was the point where I got coached from Alberto Nunez. I was like, let's get a professional over there. I was already such a big fan of Alberto Nunez. He's like, he got so fucking shredded, guys. So shredded. So fucking shredded. You see it right here. And he was an inspiration for me. And I was like applying for 3DMJ. And I was like, because it's not 100% sure about what coach you are getting, so they choose, I think, someone not randomly, but who is the best match for your goals. And somehow I was writing a little bit already that I want to get coached from Alberto, and then I got the message, you get coached, you say hello to your new coach Alberto Nunez. And I was like, yes! I got coached from Alberto Nunez. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. And then I got a Skype call with him. He did the first training program, and I made so much gains in 6 to 8 months that people guessed, okay, this guy started to use steroids. It was insane. I made so much gains, like compared like to my newbie phase when I started training. I had a second wave of that kind of, and I realized my training was never really consistent. I was not consistently overfeeding myself, eating enough food, and then I did those two basic principles with a smart programming, and I got so much gains, and I continued gaining. I maybe had a 3 to 4 week mini cut in between, and in total I was gaining consistently for 2 years with Alberto. For 2 years. And at some point I was also meeting Lionheart. Oh shit. So shit. In the gym, he was preparing for his contest prep. And he was really lean, so I was talking to him and I saw he's natural. I was like, man, this guy is really lean. I think he's preparing for a show. So I asked him and he said, I prepare for the GmbF, like the German Natural Championship, where also Moritz Gimlich competed. And then I was like, okay, this guy is legit, he's natural. And somehow he also said something about Eric Helms, 3DMJ, and I was like, 3DMJ? Dude, I'm coach from Alberto Nunez. And Lionheart was first something like, oh, I think that's a random fanboy. And then I said Alberto Nunez, and Lionheart was like, Alberto Nunez? And he was like, boom, like so connected directly. We had a really good conversation. And we saw ourselves like every day at the gym, and then we got like eating together, going to the swimming pool together, and talking a lot together. We realized he has the same mindset like me, the same wavelength, and we not only connected with bodybuilding and like in life in general. We had have a really similar worldview. Even nowadays, he's one of my best friends, and he knows me, I think, better than my mother knows me. I don't know, but he knows me really well, and I know him really well. And it was really cool to see his contest prep, how he's doing it, and he did it well. He did it so good. He's so disciplined. He's same like me kinda. If he wants something, he can put so much work into it that he achieve outstanding results. And I'm exactly the same. He's also like, if something doesn't really interest him, he don't care at all about it. But if he's really interested in something, he really puts a lot of work in it and working his ass off for it. Really similar like me. He's also this switch, like this. I can be really lazy at times, and he too. And then like there's the switch open, he become like a workaholic and working his ass off. And it's the same with me if I'm like truly believe in something. So yeah, we become really close during this time, and my diet was still not 100% balanced. I was still like a little bit obsessed about tracking every gram of food, hitting the perfect amount of calories per day. So, and Lionheart told me, man, this is holding you back, become a little bit more relaxed, you're in a gaming phase, you're not dieting for a show. I was caring less about like I got sometimes a little bit anxiety when I was eating outside, like, fuck, I can't track my macros, like how I'm doing this right now. And he said, eat more out, don't track everything. And again, I made better progress at the gym with this, because my energy was not like always going into the like less important things, more like in the big picture, more important things. And with him, I got a lot of balance in life in general, especially nutrition-wise. I got way more chill with everything and realized you don't need to be like kinda all or nothing or super obsessed about it to achieve outstanding results. What he's preaching as well, and me too, is consistency. With everything in life, that's the most important thing. And also with bodybuilding, consistency is so huge, and having a clear goal in mind and a kind of way, like a blueprint you follow, but not obsess. You follow it, but not like 100% by the books. You will kind of adapt always and listen to yourself, like improving it, what is working, what is not working so much. And then, like I said, the big thing is consistency. If you're consistent, you're always kind of improving. If you see what's working, what's not working, you fix it. And then with everything in life, even in 1 year, I truly believe you can achieve really, really good results if you are consistent. Yeah, this was one of the things I learned from him. Like also many more things. He had so much crazy experiences. Like, yeah, like I said, he's one of my best friends. He had so good times, both of us. It's so funny. Like we connected so much. So yeah, and then I was skating for about 2 years, also coaching from Alberto Nunez, training with Lionheart. We was pushing ourselves a lot at this time. And then I decided after 2 years gaining, or I think 2 years, to do another major diet. So I was doing a diet for about 11 weeks. And then I was like, after I lost more and more body fat, dude, you look now like a real bodybuilder. Oh my God. Look at the pictures, like if you see the difference compared to 2 years before and now, it's insane. It's insane. I got nearly contest stage lean and I looked like, dude, if you hit this stage, you could actually hit top 3 or something. You will do really well. Like nowadays, it was like, fuck, dude, you made a lot of gains, man, with consistency and smart training, not getting obsessed about everything. You make so much better progress in life with training. And I was like, not only, like I said, not only training, in life. This is one of the biggest things I learned from bodybuilding. Like all the things that result in bodybuilding success, you can do the same things in life. Like I said, consistency, having a blueprint, like always adapting and not getting too obsessed about it, too perfectionistic about something. It's the same with bodybuilding, so you can achieve whatever you kind of want in life, basically, for real, you can do that. And during this diet, I already got a little bit of knee pain in my left knee. Like from parkour, I had it in my right knee, but this time also my left knee got a little bit of pain while squats. And then right after the diet, I got insane knee pain while squatting. I needed to stop training legs at all. So Alberto was also programming me like a only upper body split. But also then I got elbow pain, like a golfer elbow while doing bench press. And I was like, fuck. Same like parkour, because I was still a little bit too obsessed about bodybuilding. A little bit like this was the only thing in my life at this point. And I got also a little bit depressed. I was like, fuck man, you can't achieve your goals. You can't become the best. So what are you doing now? So yeah, I was still training kinda. I was doing the movements I can do, that I cannot do, but my vision was a little bit going down of becoming a world best bodybuilder at this time. And then I was like exploring different things of my life, like the same like what I did with parkour. I was like, let's focus my energy into something else. What is not so good in my life? During this time, I was really not happy with my job. It was not fulfilling for me. It was not authentic. It was like not matching me. I was not enjoying it. I mean, I was working with great people, super cool people, but it was like an office job, and I'm not the type of person who can really enjoy this kind of work. It's not me. I need to have like action constantly, changing things. And I also always since years wanted to work abroad and travel the world, or especially live in Bangkok. This was one of my biggest dreams. And then I was like, what can I do to make this come a reality? So I was saving a shitload of money, and I decided to become a bartender. So I was doing like this European bartender school. Best decision in my life, to quit my unfulfilling job and lifestyle and go more like into this like nomadic lifestyle I live nowadays. And I'm super happy about it, to have all this freedom and change of life and adventure. And it's so amazing. It was, like I said, it was the best decision I did in my life, but also I had the most fear while doing it. I felt so afraid to quit my job, and like my family, they was like not happy about it. It was like I didn't feel so good at this time doing it, but my heart was telling me this is what you need to do, dude. That will bring you happiness. So I always listen to my heart since these days, and always it's the right decision, and not listening to your ego or outside people, or being too afraid to take some risks in life and try new things. So I was focusing a lot on that, like planning every step about my working abroad, and then I started. But my training was getting more and more a hit. I was caring less and less about training. That at some point I stopped training completely for half a year. When I started my bartender school in Barcelona in May, I already stopped, I think, for 1 month or something. And then until October, where I moved to Thailand, I was still not training at all. I lost a shitload of muscle, as you can see right here. And I realized I was also getting a little bit unhappy with no sports or movements at all. Like, I was like feeling a little bit like, man, you need to do something, you know? And then I started again with bodybuilding, and like, first of all, bodyweight exercises, then the gym, working my way up. The muscle memory was so real, and I felt better with more of this balance thing. I was not getting obsessed about bodybuilding. I was just training for fun, and I feel really good about it, really good. And at some point I was like, when I was at my old level, when everything was rebuilt, that I want to improve again, kinda. I was even getting coached from Alberto Nunez again, was eating enough, was training super hard, and I made progress again. I got bigger. And at some point I also realized, man, but you lost a little bit of life balance again. Like to progress in bodybuilding, you need to put so much work into it, but get so little out of it. So the thing is, if you don't really want to compete or make money out of it or anything else, or if you're not truly 100% enjoying it, it's not worth it in my opinion. Like I said, you get so much out and need to put so much in, and it has a big hit on your life balance. You are feeling constantly groggy, you can't concentrate much, you're less social, your libido is down, you are sometimes even less confident because you're getting overreached and feeling really tired. At work as well, you're not so like energetic and stuff. And I'm like, it was recently, I think 2 months ago, when I was thinking about it, now also when the coronavirus was hitting us, that I feel more happy and fulfilled if I just have a balance, maintaining what I have, training how I feel, not overreaching myself in the gym, and doing it more so for fun things. Same with parkour. I also started with parkour again, doing more so for fun, not with the mindset I always had before of like, I want to become the best, I want to become famous. But then I usually overextend myself, getting hurt, and then I'm forced to stop again and get super unhappy. And also during the process, I feel like not 100% authentic about it. And people can feel it, I guess. And I'm now at a point of life where I'm like really happy with my body. I necessarily don't want to get bigger. I enjoy just going to the gym, pushing some weights, and having a kind of balance. And that's my goal right now in life as well, to even more get this kind of authenticity of myself, I can say. Like living this 100% authentic life where I feel 100% fulfilled, having like all those habits and things I love to do. And that's one of my major goals in life right now, to live this lifestyle kinda, and then getting closer and closer towards that. Like if I compare my life right now, since I quit my job, I'm like so much happier and more fulfilled and free and more myself. It's really cool. So guys, I'm super happy, guys, super happy. So what I have learned from bodybuilding, it's simple, it's so simple. A lot of willpower, discipline, that you can, like same with parkour, you can achieve whatever you want in life if you put in the consistency, the hard work, the smart work, the always being willing to adapt your plan, and also listening to smarter people and be willing to change, be open-minded as well, to listen more to my body, coming more in touch with my body and my mind as well. With bodybuilding, I got way more into touch with that. I also learned that being obsessed leads to eating disorders, leads to disorders in life in general. If you try to be perfect, if you cut something out 100%, it's most likely not a good thing to do, and you can develop, yeah, eating disorders, and it's definitely not worth it doing so. I truly learned that trying to be the best or obsessed about it, if it's not your true calling, I feel like the universe is giving everyone what he's meant to have. So those people who are pure bodybuilders, they truly enjoy it and they love doing it and they are meant to be. It gives them energy. And then other people are not meant to be a pro bodybuilder or a master in this or this things. So they try to force more out of it. They try to force it. And by forcing it, it leads to like less energy. Like other people can also feel it. You're not so happy and energetic. You're not 100% following your path. And you can't really choose your path. You need to find it out and you will love your path. You maybe say, oh man, that's not my path. I want to have this path or this path. But if you truly follow your path, you are so fucking happy and fulfilled. You don't believe it. It's amazing. So that's a big thing I learned from bodybuilding, that like you can't force anything. Like you need to follow your path. You can't force it. Also, not pushing too much is a really important thing. Like listening to your body when you got an injury. You should not push too much. You should really step back. You should also go out of your comfort zone, a really big thing. Like if you want to grow more muscle, you need to go out of your comfort zone. You need to get a little bit dirty. And that's the same with everything in life. Like I said, it's so similar. Like bodybuilding is so similar with life in general. So you can just, what you learned in bodybuilding, what you did in bodybuilding, what brought you success, you can just do the same things for real life and you have the same effects or results, if you will. And also, girls don't like muscle so much. But they like muscle more than backflips. Be honest, yeah, they like it more than backflips. But still, you need to have more than just muscles. Fun fact. That I like the most things. Again, for a more detailed approach, check out my blog post. I put everything in there. So yeah, guys, I leave it here. I learned a lot from bodybuilding. I really love doing it. I learned so much about myself during those days. So much. Like I was touching the dark sides of me, like my struggles in life, my all these things, and I fixed them thanks to bodybuilding. And this is amazing, guys, super amazing. So I leave it here. I hope I could inspire you or make you think if you like, yeah, doing the right thing and following your path and doing all these things. Yeah, leave it here and goodbye. Thanks for tuning in.